Hello everybody and welcome another day here to my YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to do something really different. I am going to present to you my resources and ICT exam. So we don't have any time to lose. Let's get started. I think that you all know, but for the ones who don't know, I am studying primary education at the University of Murcia, and I have to present one of my exams for one of my courses in this format that I really like. Like I said before, we don't have any time to lose. Let's get started! In my teaching project, I am going to work with 6th graders, and we are going to work with the subject of social science. Based on the decree number 198/2014 of September 5, which established the curriculum for primary education of the autonomous community of the region of Murcia, that is published in the official gazette of the region of Murcia, BORM, I am going to work with block 4 of that subject. In the next clips, I am going to explain the standards that I am going to use in this project. The first one is the 1.3 of this block, which is the use of some methods to locate in time and space some events of the past and recognize the simultaneity and succession between them. The second is the 2.1, that is about the description of the fundamental characteristics and facts of the contemporary age in Spain. And the last one is the 2.2, that says that students must explain some aspects related to the social organization and the way of living in the contemporary age in Spain. In my teaching project, my students are going to do 3 different activities using different digital tools. I'm going to do one activity in groups and the others individually. For those that are in groups, I am going to divide my class of 24 students in groups of 6. And for those that are individually, my students are going to work on their own. In my first activity, my students are going to do a timeline with the most important facts of the 19th century in Spain. To carry out this activity, they are going to use BISME. BISME is a tool that allows you to do documents, infographics, graphs, etc. This timeline works with different aspects of the BORM. About the content, it works with the one that says Spain in the contemporary age, more specifically in the 19th century. About the evaluation criteria, it works with the number 2, that is the one that says that students must identify and locate in time and space the most relevant historical processes and events in the history of Spain. About the standards, it works with the 1.3, that I explained it before. The next activity is made to develop in groups of 6 students, and it is made to do it in the computer classroom. I have to add that I am going to create email accounts for each student, and I am going to share the password with them and with their parents to control what they do with it. Now I'm going to explain how my students are going to develop this first activity. The first thing that they have to do is search on the internet BISME. After that, they have to sign up using the email that I said before. In the principal page of BISME, they will search infography, and once there, they will search inside of infographics, timelines. They can choose one of the examples that the tools allow to use for free. Then they will look in their book and choose the most important facts of the 19th century in Spain, and they will collect them in a Google Docs. Next, they will introduce the information that they have in the timeline. After this, they will send me via email to correct them. Now, you can see the result of the timeline. The second activity that I am going to develop in this project is the creation of a pyramid of the 19th century society in Spain. To do this, my students are going to use Genially. Genially is a digital tool that allows you to do infography, presentations, interactive images, etc. With this pyramid, my students are going to work some aspects of the education degree of the region of Murcia. About the content, they are going to work with Spain in the contemporary age, more specifically in the 19th century. About the evaluation criteria, it works with a part of the number 3 of this block. Children must develop curiosity to learn about the human life forms in the past. And about the standards, it makes reference to the number 2.3 that I explained it before. This activity is easy to develop, so students are going to do it individually, and this activity will be done in the computer classroom. Once in Genially, students are going to look for pyramids in the infographics section. They will find some examples that they can choose to make it. When they have the model of the pyramid that they want, they will look up the book and they will find the necessary information to develop the activity. They will put information and the pyramid is done. After that, they will send the pyramid by email to me. Now, you can see the final product. And the last one activity of this project is to make a list with all the kings and queens of the 19th century in Spain with the digital tool called Remember the Milk. This digital tool is really easy to manage and is very useful for daily life. Making the list, my students are going to develop some standards, evaluation criteria and contents from the educational degree of the region of Murcia. To start, I am going to say the contents that our students will develop. Like in others activity, they are going to work with Spain in the contemporary age, more specifically in the 19th century. About the evaluation criteria, my students will work with the number 2. That is the one that says that they must identify and locate in time and space the most relevant historical processes and events in the history of Spain. And the last thing are standards. With this activity, students will develop the 2.1. That is the one that says that they must place in a timeline the most important events of the different stages of the history of Spain. And the other is the 2.2. Which says that students must describe the fundamental characteristics and facts in the contemporary age in Spain. Now, I'm going to show you how they have to do this activity. Students must search on the internet the digital tool, and with the email that they have, they will log in. After this, they will create a new list, and with the information that they have on the book, they will put the names of the things such as tasks. And that's all. Now you can see the final result. About the ethical problems, we can find some, but if I have to say all of them, the video will be really long, so I am going to choose the ones that I think are more relevant. The first problem is that tool don't allow direct feedback from instructors, so students will send it another way to receive it. This will delay the duration of the activities and will be a hassle. The second is that tools are not well known and it's likely that the learners are not familiar with them, so we will have to lose some extra time explaining how they work. Also, in these tools, all users, instructors and learners must provide personal information to a third party in creating an account and giving to them sensitive information. Parents will not agree with this part. The added value of using digital tools in this case are quite few, but I am going to choose some of them. The first is that the tool can be used free of charge, but with a limited use. Although you have to pay to unlock all the aspects of the tool, the selection that is free is really great. Also, the tools are designed to address the needs of diverse users, their literacies, capabilities, and thereby widening opportunities for participation in learning. And the last one is that the proper use of the tool does not require equipment beyond what is typically available to instructors and students. We will need to make sure that all students have electronic device and internet at home to be able to do the activities. We will need to confirm the full collaboration from parents, since we are working with children and we need them to be supervised while doing the activities. And lastly, me as a teacher, I will have to make more resources available to them, so that solving the activities on their own will be easier. And the last thing of this first part is about evaluation. I'm going to evaluate through a rubric because I think that is the most equitable method. In this course, I have learned many things. Some of them are included in my PLA forever. Between them, I have two digital tools like Genially and Canva that I will use to create content, especially with Canva, that I can make a lot of different things such as interactive images, charts, videos, etc. And it's a good tool to create content. Another tool is YouTube. YouTube is a tool that I can use to work different stages of my PLA. I can share information, create it, and I can use it like an information source. Another thing that I had included on my PLA is Blogspot. Creating a blog, I could share information with other people and I can make it an information source for others. Another thing that I had included on my PLA is Twitter. Before starting this course, I was used to use Twitter, but now I have changed the approach that I had given it. And the last one that I have included is Google Drive. Google Drive is perfect for organizing me, and also I can share information with others. Now I'm going to explain what are the most relevant elements of the teaching competence for a digital world. The first one is the 4.2 that says that teachers must be experts in digital educational content. Teachers must manage TPAC perfectly. Nowadays, TPAC is crucial to understand that teachers are the real engine of change in the educational system. The better prepared they are, and the better pedagogical, content, and technological training they have, will produce a greater impact on their students and indirectly on society. The second is experts in enhanced organizational or personal learning context. Teachers have their own PLA, which is the center of their developmental professional process. One of the best for a teacher to show their students how to effectively learn is to understand how their PLA works. And the last one is the use of technology to communicate with the society. ICTs improve the students' conditions and create seamless communications among the society and the different students' environments. I think that I have done a good job during the term, and although my exam is not perfect, I put a lot of effort on it, so I think that I deserve a 7. The most important role for me was the analyst. When you have to perform it, you carry a lot of responsibility with you because you have to do your work perfectly because your post is the most important of the group. Also, you have to mark the work of your group members and it's quite difficult. The most challenging role that I have performed was the star. When you are the star, you represent your group in front of the class. And you have to present well because that is what the teacher is going to see about your work. This role carries a lot of responsibility, and controlling the nerves and presenting well is really difficult. And that's all. I hope that you have enjoyed it and see you next week. Bye!